Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here, myself Charlie. A reminder before the video starts to please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Last night saw the Interconfederation playoffs take place as well as the UEFA playoffs for the final spots at the 2026 World Cup in North America. I went to say the United States there, but that would be disrespectful to Canada and Mexico. And talking of Mexico, in Monterrey, history was made because for 40 years, Iraq has not seen, the Iraqi people have not seen their country at a World Cup. But thanks to Australian coach Graham Arnold, as well as other players who ply their trade in Europe, Iraq, the Lions of Mesopotamia, are going to the World Cup. And they defeated Bolivia 2-1. Ali Al-Hamadi, who at the minute is plying his trade at Luton Town, was part of that team. There are other players as well. Zidane Iqbal would be familiar to some English football fans, of course, a former Man United Academy graduate. And Iraq, like I say, will be going to the World Cup. It is an incredible achievement. I am of a generation that certainly grew up with largely negative connotations, I think, probably about Iraq would be fair to say. A nation that we had sort of told, all I grew up with and remember about Iraq was there being a war there. That's all I remember growing up with. And those were the connotations that I had from it. To see the scenes last night of men of a certain generation in tears who hadn't seen their country at World Cup, or perhaps had but hadn't for 40 years and who grew up probably never believing it would happen again, is something that I find quite moving. The scenes of Graham Arnold lit armchaired with waving the Iraqi flag as the fans celebrated is incredible. And it's what I think this expanded World Cup, for all its criticisms, and I've been critical of it as well, 2018 World Cup, this is what it's about. This is why it's a good thing. Because you've got a nation like Iraq, hasn't qualified for 40 years. In that history of 40 years, it has seen so many problems. I mean, problems is an understatement. Just, everyone knows what I'm talking about with the history of Iraq. To now have that country at a World Cup is absolutely fantastic. And even now, currently, with the situation in the Middle East, it's quite ironic, really, isn't it? The situation in the Middle East where the World Cup hosts, or at least one of the host nations, are very much involved. To have a nation like Iraq qualify united for the World Cup, it's, for me, what football is about. They defeated Bolivia. You have to feel for Bolivia because they would have saw this as an opportunity. While some in South America, the likes of Chile, are flailing and struggling, this probably was one of their best chances, Bolivia, I think, to get to a World Cup. They defeated Brazil, it's easy to forget, on the last qualifying day to secure that playoff spot. To now not have that, to not get to it, must be heart-wrenching. Heartbreaking, gut-wrenching. I think it's fair to say as well with Bolivia that perhaps they had their advantage taken off them with the altitude. Everyone knows their advantages. But still, like I say, it's fantastic to see Iraq qualify. They were the last ones to secure it. DR Congo also getting through. That's great for them. And I think it's easy to forget as a European football fan how hard it is for these African nations to get to a World Cup. DR Congo had to finish second in a group to Senegal, who are, I don't care what anyone says, the AFCON champions. They then had to defeat Cameroon with Mbuemo and Baleba and others as well. They then had to defeat Nigeria with Osimhen, Lookman, those players as well, before finally having to travel to Mexico to play Jamaica. They are more than deserving of this place at this World Cup. And again, the players that ply their trade in Europe, a team that will go into this World Cup now very much hopeful of doing well, and hopefully they will try, both these nations, DR Congo and Iraq, who have had negative past, can hopefully use this World Cup to move forward with their futures. And that's what a 2018 World Cup's about. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm covering all sports from all angles. Thank you very much as always. And as always, have a great day.